Satyabama Institute of Science and Technology.
Hello all, this is Dr. Priya Kumari, Assistant Professor, Satyabama College of Physiotherapy, Satyabama Institute of Science and Technology. Today I am going to present on the topic Emerging Trends in Neurorehabilitation. So I'll be covering what is neurorehabilitation, what this technology causes in the brain, how it helps in the recovery. In this particular presentation, I'll be covering about AR and VR, what is the future scope and how we can apply this to the neurorehabilitation. So what is neurorehabilitation? In case of any neurological insult or damage to the brain, the recovery takes a longer time, and the recovery happens by giving exercises. When we give the exercise, a lot of neurological changes which will happen in the brain. So why do we do the neurorehabilitation? First of all, we do to minimize the secondary complications so that the patient becomes independent at the earliest, or tries to do the daily activities independently, so that we can minimize the challenges and limitations faced by the patient on day-to-day basis. And also neurorehabilitation includes removing the environmental barriers and providing facilitators. Now, why this concept of emerging trends? The conventional, as I told before, neurorehabilitation takes longer time, and it becomes very monotonous for the patients to stick to the exercise regime for longer duration of time. The repeated exercise sessions sometimes makes the patients demotivated, and even for it becomes a burden for the therapist to when as the intensity of exercise increases, to stick to that exercise protocol. Sometimes it would be a added difficulty for the therapist as well as the patients. So along with the conventional exercises, these emerging trends helps to lessen that, it makes the process easy, and it helps to do the exercise with ease. And also patients are engaged in the exercise sessions, they are motivated to do the exercises, and recovery also becomes faster with the inclusion of emerging trends in the conventional exercise methods. Now, what does happens with neurorehabilitation in brain? When we start giving the exercises to the patients, mechanism called neuroplasticity starts. Now, what is this neuroplasticity? It is the changes which happens in the brain when they are exposed to the exercise or the new stimulus after brain injury. So, brain has a capacity to learn new skills, and that particular property is called as a neuroplasticity. So it is the ability of the nervous system to modify and regenerate. So whenever there is a death of the neuronal cells, the regeneration process starts, and that happens throughout the life. So neuroplasticity mechanism occurs throughout a person's life. So, when we teach them exercise, when we teach them new activities and skills, neuroplasticity mechanism takes place in the brain. It can be just explained with the concept that if there is a block in a particular pathway, then the adjacent paths are being taken by the electrical signals or neural signals to pass, which helps in the activity to be learnt by the brain. So the changes, what happens is the structural and functional changes in the brain. Neuroplasticity works on the Hebb's theory, which states that by continuous stimulation of the postsynaptic neurons by the presynaptic neurons, it improves the synaptic efficiency. Now, what happens in neuroplasticity? For the first 48 hours, the brain attempts to use secondary neuronal networks to maintain the function. After that, the following weeks, the synaptic plasticity and new connections are formed. And after that, in weeks to months' time, the brain continues to remodel itself via axonal sprouting and further reorganization around the damage. So what are the benefits of neuroplasticity? It helps to learn the new skills, enhances the existing cognitive abilities of the patient, like executive functioning, attention span, memory. All these improves with the neuroplasticity mechanism of the brain. It also helps to recover the patient with the traumatic brain injuries, post-traumatic brain injuries through the mechanism of neuroplasticity. With the different kind of rehabilitation techniques, we can improve the fitness of the brain, and the mechanism which is taking place is the neuroplasticity. Now, how we can improve the neuroplasticity of the brain? That can happen when we expose the patients to the new challenging tasks or the new exercises, or when they are exposed to the new environments. So the attention, novelty and challenge we give to the patients, it helps them to, it helps the cortical reorganization and axonal sprouting and synaptogenesis processes, which is a part of the neuroplasticity. This mechanism helps to maintain the brain fitness, and also it will help in the improvement of the patient. Regular physical exercise has a number of brain benefits. Some researchers indicates that exercise might help prevent neuronal loss. Even the cognitive decline might slower down if a person is doing the exercise on a regular basis. Even the neuronal loss in the hippocampal area can be slowed down with the help of the regular exercise. So this all happens because of the mechanism of neuroplasticity of the brain. Now, when we talk about the emerging trends, the new rehabilitation strategies like activity-based therapy and restorative therapies help in the neurorehabilitation process of the patients. So activity-based, the exercises like constraint-induced movement therapy, and then high-dose activity-based rehabilitation, high doses of task-specific training, mirror therapy, and environmental enrichment programs can help in the neurorehabilitation. Restorative therapies targeting neuroplasticity mechanism with recent technological advances like virtual rehabilitation, augmented reality, mixed reality, then brain-computer interface, robot-assisted rehabilitation. So these mechanisms helps in it is an added adjunct to the neurorehabilitation of the patients. Now, what are the emerging trends which are most commonly used these days for the neurorehabilitation are augmented reality, virtual reality, mixed reality, robotic assisted neurorehabilitation, brain-computer interface, then 3D printing, telerehabilitation, and smart wearables. Now, what is augmented reality? Here, it is a real life and digital world where here the patient interacts with the digital canvas or digital interface in which the patient can interact and perform the exercises. It can be engaging in the form of games. It can be customized exercise designs can be made using this technology, and which can be engaging for the patients and help in the recovery of the patients at the faster level. So rehabilitation using augmented reality has shown better results. The research study shows that rather than these kind of technologies when used, the recovery of the patients has been been faster and more engaging, and they were motivated to come back to the exercise regime for on the daily basis. In the augmented reality, the digital layer is superimposed on the real world. So we can get the augmented reality using there are several apps or the augmented reality glasses which can be put on, and it can be this feeling of augmented reality can be incorporated into the rehabilitation for the betterment of the patients. A virtual reality. So how it is different from the augmented reality? Here the patient gets immersed into the virtual world. So the patient, it is of two types. It can be either immersive or non-immersive. And here we use different the gadgets for getting that virtual reality feel, which is VR headsets are used. Softwares like immersive environments, interactive simulations and therapeutic games can be designed using VR post-stroke or post spinal cord injuries or post any kind of brain injury. If a lot of improvement has been shown, and researchers are saying that if we gave them VR based therapy or virtual rehabilitation, the recovery was better, and it was more engaging, and it was because it was the patients were exposed to the different environment. They were able to stick to the exercise protocol. Exercises can be customized, and it has motivated for the patients to come back to the exercise therapy. So this VR based exercises helps in the recovery, and it also helps in the cognitive, improves the cognitive aspect. It is used for the motor rehabilitation, it is used for the hand function post stroke, for Parkinson's patients, for cerebral palsy. It can be used for the multiple cases of the brain injuries. We can use VR for the better recovery of the patients. So in the VR, in what all neurorehabilitation, what role the VR plays? It can help in the improvement of balance, coordination, cognitive skills, and we can, yeah, for sensory stimulation. VR training programs, interactive games can be created which require physical movement. Even virtual treadmill walking sessions has been found to be very successful, which help in the neuro patients to recover. Especially in the cognitive rehabilitation, VR virtual rehabilitation has played a very important role according to their studies, like problem solving skill, executive functioning, memory based tasks. Those can be designed through VR, which will be helpful and motivating and engaging for the patients to recover. At the same time, when we use this technology into our daily rehabilitation regime, we have to keep in mind and we have to thoughtfully incorporate this technology into the conventional form, keeping in mind the ethics and the guidelines, the legal aspects, and we also have to consider about the patient's limitations. For example, we cannot include, for virtual rehabilitation we cannot have all types of patients those who are have cognitively challenged or have visual problems. For them we have to consider, and we have to check the severity level of the patient, whether the usage is apt for the patients. Then only we can customize the exercises using AR and VR. Thank you.